Something is happening at Diego Garcia that has Tehran on maximum alert. The Indian Ocean, a remote British territory 2,358 miles from Iran. And America just deployed at least 6 B-2 Spirit stealth bombers. Satellite imagery shows at least 6 B-2 bombers on the runway of Naval Support Facility, Diego Garcia. 6 B-2s. That is 1/3 of America's entire stealth bomber fleet. At least 3 C-17 cargo planes and 10 aerial refueling tankers forward deployed in the last 48 hours. Cargo aircraft, tankers, bombers, all positioned. These aircraft are uniquely capable of carrying the massive ordnance penetrator, a 30,000-pound bomb designed to destroy hardened and deeply buried targets. 30,000-pound bunker busters, the only weapon that can destroy Iran underground nuclear facilities. And they are deployed, ready, waiting for the order. Share this everywhere, because what America just positioned at Diego Garcia is not deterrence. It is preparation for strike. B-2 bombers carry the bombs that destroyed Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan in Operation Midnight Hammer, and they are back. Before we reveal how many B-2 bombers are actually at Diego Garcia, and why satellite imagery shows more arriving, what the massive ordnance penetrator can do to Iran underground facilities, why Iran threatened preemptive strikes on Diego Garcia itself, how far Diego Garcia is from Tehran and what that means for Iranian air defenses, what happened during Operation Midnight Hammer when B-2 bombers last bombed Iran, and whether Trump is preparing Midnight Hammer 2. Subscribe to Daily Military Talks right now. Hit that bell, because 6 B-2 bombers sitting on a runway 2,358 miles from Tehran is not a training exercise. It is a countdown. The crews of 2 B-2 bombers, call signs Pitch 11 and Pitch 14, could be heard communicating with air traffic controllers in Australia. Australia en route to Diego Garcia, crossing the Pacific. The crew of Pitch 11 confirms the presence of a 3rd bomber. 3 confirmed audio intercepts, but satellite shows 6. That means more arrived without being tracked, or more are coming. Here is what Diego Garcia actually is, and why it matters more than any other base. Diego Garcia is a small, isolated atoll in the central Indian Ocean, officially part of the British Indian Ocean Territory, British Territory, American military base, lease agreement. Its remote yet strategic location, roughly 4,280 kilometers from the Persian Gulf, makes it a vital hub for projecting American military power. 3,000 miles from the Persian Gulf, out of range of Iranian missiles, safe, secure, and perfectly positioned to bomb Tehran. Think about what makes this location untouchable. Iran's current longest-range ballistic missiles are generally assessed to have maximum ranges around 1,242 miles. 1,242 miles. The distance between Diego Garcia and Iran is 2,358 miles. Iran cannot reach it. Their missiles fall short by over 1,000 miles. America can strike Iran from Diego Garcia. Iran cannot strike back. That is asymmetric warfare perfection. And this is what the B-2 Spirit actually is. Each B-2 has a $1.1 billion price tag, $1.1 billion per aircraft, 6 on the runway, $6.6 billion sitting exposed. The B-2, with its advanced stealth technology, is capable of penetrating heavily defended airspace and striking strategic targets with high precision. Stealth, undetectable, unstoppable. Iran air defenses cannot track B-2s. S-300 systems useless. The bomber flies in, drops ordnance, flies out, and Tehran never sees it coming. Now look at what weapon these B-2 bombers carry. The GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator, a bunker-busting bomb specifically designed to destroy deeply buried facilities, ideal for neutralizing underground Iranian nuclear sites. GBU-57, massive ordnance penetrator, MOP, 30,000 pounds. Only the B-2 is currently certified to employ MOP operationally. Only B-2s, no other aircraft. This bomb was designed for one mission: destroy Iranian nuclear facilities buried deep underground. Here is what happened the last time B-2 bombers bombed Iran. June 22, 2025. Operation Midnight Hammer. B-2 Spirit stealth bombers attacked 3 nuclear facilities in Iran targeting Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan with 14 GBU-57 MOP bombs. 14 MOP bombs, 3 facilities, total destruction. F-35 and F-22 fighters also entered Iran airspace to draw surface-to-air missiles, but no launches were detected. Iran never fired. They never saw the bombers. Stealth worked perfectly, and Iran's nuclear program was set back years. Think about what that means for current deployment. June 2025, B-2 bombers bombed Iran. February 2026, B-2 bombers deployed to Diego Garcia. Again, same bombers, same weapons, same targets. F-22 and F-35 fighters previously escorted B-2 stealth bombers during Operation Midnight Hammer. And right now, F-22 and F-35 fighters are deploying to the Middle East. Same operational package, Midnight Hammer 2. Here is what Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said about the B-2 deployment. "We will let them decide if the aircraft were meant to send a message to Tehran. It is a great asset. It sends a message to everybody. President Trump has been clear Iran should not have a nuclear bomb. Trump has been clear. No nuclear bomb. And B-2 bombers carry the only weapon that can guarantee Iran never gets one. MOP bombs. Underground penetration. Total destruction." Now, look at what Iran threatened in response. According to The Telegraph, Iranian officials are exploring options for preemptive strikes on Diego Garcia, or at least a show of force aimed near the island. Preemptive strikes on Diego Garcia. Iran knows what those bombers mean, and they want to destroy them before they launch. But there is a problem. Diego Garcia, unlike bases in the Middle East or carriers, is largely out of reach of missiles and drones available to Iran. Out of range. Iran can threaten, but cannot execute. Here is what makes this deployment unprecedented. A deployment of just 4 B-2 bombers representing 20% of the fleet to Australia in 2022 was seen as sending a significant signal to China. 4 B-2s. Significant signal. Diego Garcia has 6, that is 30%. Staging more than 4 B-2 bombers at Diego Garcia would be a major show of force aimed squarely at the Middle East. Major show of force. This is the largest B-2 deployment ever recorded to one location in B-2 history. Think about what satellite imagery shows. Satellite imagery from Planet Labs shows 6 B-2 bombers, along with 6 other large aircraft that could include tankers and cargo planes parked in the open at Diego Garcia. 6 B-2s, 6 support aircraft, all visible, exposed. Another image shows 4 B-2 bombers and 6 KC-135 tankers parked on the apron, as well as 3 of the Base 4 specially designed B-2 shelters open. Shelters open, meaning bombers inside. Total count unknown. Could be 10 B-2s, could be more. Here is what those tankers mean operationally. The B-2 has an unrefueled range of approximately 6,000 nautical miles, but when supported by aerial refueling, it can remain airborne and operational over distant theaters for extended periods. 6,000 nautical miles unrefueled. With tankers, extended range. KC-135 Stratotankers extend operational reach and flexibility, enabling bombers to strike distant targets without needing to land. Diego Garcia to Tehran, 2,358 miles one way. B-2 flies there, drops MOP bombs, refuels midair, returns, mission complete. Now look at what Trump said about the 10-day deadline. Trump said he will decide over the next 10 days whether he will order a strike on Iran. 10-day deadline announced February 19th. B-2 bombers deployed, tankers in position, F-22 fighters crossing the Atlantic, everything ready. Trump said 10 days. That clock is ticking, and B-2 bombers do not deploy for show. They deploy to strike. Here is what United Kingdom Prime Minister Keir Starmer told Trump. Starmer indicated the United States cannot use British air bases, including Diego Garcia and Royal Air Force Fairford, for strikes on Iran, as this would be a breach of international law. Cannot use Diego Garcia. International law. Britain says no. Trump retaliated by withdrawing United States support for United Kingdom decision to transfer Chagos Islands to Mauritius. Trump pulled support. Political leverage. Diego Garcia is British territory, but America controls the base, and Trump will use it regardless of what London says. Think about what that United Kingdom dispute reveals. Starmer knows B-2 bombers at Diego Garcia means strikes on Iran. That is why he objected publicly on international law grounds. But B-2 bombers are already there, already deployed, already armed. Starmer objection came after deployment. That means Trump moved assets first. Ask permission? Never. Standard operating procedure. Strike first. Apologize later. Here is what Iran air defense can actually do against B-2 bombers. Nothing. Iran has S-300 systems, Russian-made air defense. S-300 systems track targets using radar. B-2 stealth design defeats radar. S-300 cannot lock, cannot fire, cannot intercept. During Operation Midnight Hammer, F-35 and F-22 fighters entered Iran airspace to draw surface-to-air missile launches, but no launches were detected. Iran never fired because they never detected anything. Stealth worked. Now look at what Iran built in response to Midnight Hammer. Iranians have over the past 6 months quietly taken additional steps to move critical assets further underground, deeper underground after June 2025 strikes. Iran learned facilities destroyed. Solution: dig deeper, build new tunnels, harden bunkers. But there is a problem. The GBU-57 ERUPT is specifically designed to destroy deeply buried facilities. MOP penetrates 200 feet of concrete or 60 feet of earth. Iran can dig. America can dig deeper with bombs. Here is what the Air Force is doing right now with ERUPT inventory. The United States military is moving to restock its supply of GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator bunker-busting bombs it used against Iran underground nuclear facilities last June. Restocking MOP bombs. Used them June 2025. Building more. Why restock unless planning to use again? 14 MOP bombs dropped on Iran. More being manufactured. That means more targets or same targets rebuilt. Think about what Diego Garcia offers that Middle East bases do not. Safety. Iran has explicitly threatened to strike Diego Garcia, recognizing its importance as a bomber base. Iran recognizes the threat but cannot reach it. Whether Iran possesses the capability to execute such a threat at that range remains questionable. Iran's longest-range missiles reach 1,242 miles, making Diego Garcia unreachable. Diego Garcia is 2,358 miles away. The math does not work. Iran is defenseless against strikes from Diego Garcia. Here is what analysis says about the deployment. This many B-2 bombers signals an unprecedented offensive intent and capability. Unprecedented offensive intent, not defense, offense. Simply because the movement of bombers is a signal does not mean it is a bluff. The same show of force which has the effect of coercing Iran also is preparation for use of force if it comes to it. Not a bluff. Real preparation, coercion, and capability simultaneously. Now look at what naval assets are deploying alongside bombers. USS Gerald R. Ford and USS Abraham Lincoln carrier strike groups both deploying to the region. 2 carriers combined with B-2 bombers. The Pentagon extended deployment of USS Harry S. Truman and ordered USS Carl Vinson to join regional operations. 4 carriers total, plus B-2 bombers, plus F-22 fighters, plus F-35 fighters. This is the largest concentration of American military power since Iraq 2003. One thing is absolutely certain. At least 6 B-2 Spirit stealth bombers deployed to Diego Garcia, 2,358 miles from Tehran, carrying GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator bunker-busting bombs. Each B-2 costs $1.1 billion, and satellite imagery shows 6 B-2 bombers plus 10 tankers deployed. Iran's longest-range missiles reach 1,242 miles, making Diego Garcia unreachable. Operation Midnight Hammer used B-2 bombers to destroy Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan in June 2025. The Air Force is restocking MOP inventory. Trump set a 10-day deadline, February 19th. United Kingdom Prime Minister Starmer said United States cannot use Diego Garcia, but B-2 bombers are already deployed. So, here is what we are watching. If Trump orders Midnight Hammer 2, then B-2 bombers launch and Iran cannot stop them. If negotiations fail, then bombers have targets assigned. Either Iran agrees to nuclear demands or 6 B-2 bombers deliver 30,000-pound bunker busters. The 10-day clock is ticking. Stay tuned.